Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make another YouTuber statue. This time, I'll be showing you how to make MrWoofless. By the way, just in case you have any more YouTuber statue related needs, feel free to check out the card system and the link below down in the description for my YouTuber statue tutorials playlist. That's right, it exists and there are quite a few of them in there. Moving on to Woofless. If you want to make him, here's what you're going to need. You will need some brown stained clay, and grab some white stained clay, then grab black wool, dark grey, light grey, white, red, dark blue, and finally grab yourself some light blue wool. And those are the only colours that you're going to be needing. So once you have each one of those, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'll be making it right here, you're going to want to kick off Woofless with this sequence of blocks in a row on the floor. Do 1 white wool, 2 light grey, 2 white wool, 2 light grey, 1 white wool, and there you go guys, that is what you want for the base row of your Woofless. Once you've got that row taken care of, this is what you want to do for row number 2, so building directly on top of it, going from left to right, do this sequence of blocks. Do 1 black wool, 2 white, 2 black, 2 white, 1 black, as easy as that. For the next row, do an entire row of black wool. For the next 9 rows, do 9 solid rows of dark grey wool. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And of course we just have to fill these in now. So I'm just going to fill these in and then we can move on to the next part. But as a matter of fact, once we've filled all of these in, these will be the legs of Woofless 100% fully completed. Those are them in their completed state. So once you've got your 9 rows of dark grey wool, this is what you want to do for the next row. Do 2 white wool in the 2 center spots of the row, then do a light grey wool everywhere else. For the next row, do a single dark blue on the ends of your row, then light blue everywhere else. For the next 2 rows, going from left to right, do 1 light blue, 1 dark blue, 4 light blue, 1 dark blue, 1 light blue. And like I said, that's for 2 rows, so do 1 and then do the exact same thing just above it. For the next row, do 4 dark blue in the 4 center spots of your row, then do light blue wool everywhere else. For the next row, do an entire row of light blue wool. For the next row, do 4 light blue in the 4 center spots of the row, then dark blue everywhere else. For the next row, place a single dark blue on the ends of your row, then light blue everywhere else in between. For the next 2 rows, place 2 dark blue wool in the 2 center spots of your row, and then place light blue everywhere else, just like that, and that's for 2 rows. I've done them rather quickly. For the next row, going from left to right, do 1 light blue, 2 dark blue, 2 white clay, 2 dark blue, 1 light blue. And for the final row of the torso, going from left to right again, do 1 light blue, 1 dark blue, 4 white clay, 1 dark blue, 1 light blue. And there you go guys, that is what you want to have for Woofless's torso and legs all together. Once you've reached this point right here, all you have to do now is Woofless's arms. So, once you have reached this point right here, move all the way up to the top right hand corner of your statue, and going right of this right hand light blue here, do this sequence of blocks. Going right, do 3 dark blue, then 1 light blue, and that is just the first row of the top of the arm. We're now just going to build our way down. So for the second row of the arm, you now want to, coming down of course, going from left to right, do 1 dark blue, 3 light blue. You then want to do 6 solid rows of light blue, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we've just got to fill those in now. So 6 rows of 4 light blue coming down. For the next row, do an entire row of dark blue wool, followed by an entire row of white. Then do 2 solid rows of white stained clay, so that's 1 and 2. And once you've done that second row of white stained clay, you have actually fully completed the arm in its entirety. That is all you have to do, guys. Once you've got that first arm taken care of course, we now want to move on to the opposite arm. So coming up to the top left hand corner of the statue, now going left of this light blue wool, you want to do this sequence of blocks. Do 3 dark blue, 1, 2, 3, 1 light blue. Then underneath it, going from left to right, I suppose we'll do left to right again, do 3 light blue, 1 dark blue. We then want to do our 6 solid rows of light blue, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, there we go, that's all 6 rows. Then do a row of dark blue, followed by a row of white wool. Then finished off with 2 rows of white stained clay, and what you want to end up with is something that should look in total exactly like this, and that is just the front of your Woofless statue 100% fully complete. Once you've reached this point right here, we can now move on to the next bit. So once you have reached this point right here, you now want to come all the way around to the back of your statue and come all the way down to the bottoms of the feet. You then want to take out your white wool and take each end of the bottom corners of your statue and extend them out, coming out of the back of the statue each by 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Just like that. And then connect each one of those third blocks together like this to form a U shape. We're now just going to build up the entire back of the statue on top of these 8 back blocks that we have right here, just exactly how we built up the entire front of the statue. Then we'll do the side. So, for the second row and the third row of the back of the statue, this is what you want to do. You just want to do an entire row of black wool. So stack 2 rows of black wool directly on top of that back row of your statue. You then want to, for the next few rows, want to take out your dark grey wool and do 9 solid rows of dark grey. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And of course we just have to fill these in now. So this is a third row, and the back of the statue isn't very difficult at all, guys. The back of the statue is actually really simple. If you thought the front of the statue was easy, the back of the statue is going to be easier. So this is what you want to have for the back of the leg so far. Very easy. Once you've got your 9 rows of dark grey wool, this is what you want to do next. Do an entire row of light grey wool. Then for the next row, do an entire row of dark blue wool. For the next row, place a single dark blue on the ends of your row and then do light blue everywhere else. Now all you have to do to finish off the back is you just have to make the rest of the back entirely light blue wool. So all you have to do is with your light blue wool, just match the height of the front of the statue with your light blue. So just raise it up by, I don't know how many rows that is, like 9 rows, 8 rows, however many it is, you've just got to raise it all the way up to the top until it is equal height with the front of the statue. And that's all you have to do for the back. Now all we have to do to fully complete the back of our statue is the backs of the arms, which are very easy as well. Guess why? Because the backs of the arms are identical to the fronts of the arms. Thus, all you have to do to complete the backs of the arms is look directly at what you did at the front, copy it onto the back, and then that is that, guys. There's nothing more to it. So I'm just copying exactly what I did on the front of the statue directly onto the back in the exact same places that I did on the front, except of course we're just on the back of the statue, and that's all you have to do as well to complete the back of your statue. So we're just adding in all of these rows of light blue, then we've got a little bit of dark blue to add at the top, and then we'll be done, guys. So all we have to do is that, and as you guys all see, the back of the statue, or the backs of the arms I should say at the very least, are identical to the front of the statue. Very simple. Now, once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. Once you have completely taken care of the back, and once you have indeed reached this point right here, we can now move on to the sides of the statue. So, the sides of the statue are incredibly simple. All you have to do is literally come to this side of the statue first of all, or any side, it doesn't really matter. So, come down to the bottom of the statue. You guys can see that we have black wool on the left and right hand side here, on the front and the back of the statue. Well, all you have to do is just bridge the gap between both of them by doing the exact same color that you see on the left and right hand side, and placing it directly in between them. So that applies everywhere up the side of the statue, including the bottom of the arms here, where we have white stained clay, including this white wool that we have right here, including the dark blue, including all of the colors. It's kind of funny since I just used the wrong color there, but this goes all the way up the side of the statue, even when you reach the top here where we have dark blue wool, even for the top of the shoulder, you just want to copy the color. Oh, and by the way, with the top of the shoulder, you have to come in by 3. You can come in by more, but you don't have to. Don't come in by less. You have to come in by 3, however, otherwise you'll have holes in your statue. And just to show you guys, this is what the side of the statue should look like once it's been 100% fully completed. Once you've got one side taken care of course, we want to do the exact same thing on the opposite side here. So coming to the opposite side here, we have black wool, dark grey. Then we'll be moving up to the bottoms of the hands, which we will just use white stained clay for. Then for his sleeves, we've got a little bit of white wool followed by some dark blue. Then it's just light blue wool all the way up here, and then it's just a little bit of dark blue for the top of the shoulder. Remember, come in by 3 at the very least. More is fine, less is not. So this is the other side of the statue 100% fully taken care of. Perfect. Once you have yourself reached this point right here, we can now move on to the final stage of the statue, which is of course adding in the head. So once you've reached this point right here, you now want to come all the way to the front of the statue, and you want to come all the way up to the top of the torso. On top of this top row of the torso, you want to stack a row of 8 white clay directly on top of that top row, right there. In front of this row of 8 white clay, you want to stack 2 additional rows of white clay, so that'll be 1 and 2 coming directly out in front of the statue. For the next row, and by the way, we're now going to be building up on top of the second row. We're going to build up the face and then the rest of the head. For the next row, going from left to right, do this sequence of blocks. Do 3 white wool, 1 black wool, 2 red, 2 white clay. For the next row, do 2 white clay on each end of your row, and then just do black wool in the 4 center spots of your row. For the next row, going from left to right again, do 1 white clay, 1 black wool, 4 white clay, 1 black wool, 1 white clay. For the next row, do 1 brown clay, 1 dark grey, 4 white clay, 1 dark grey, 1 brown clay. For the next row, place a single brown clay on the ends of your row, then do white clay everywhere else. For the next row, going from left to right, do 2 brown clay, 1 white clay, 1 brown, 1 white, 3 brown clay. And for the final row of the face, just do an entire row of brown clay. And what you want to end up with is something that should look exactly like this. And you know what, guys? Whilst we're here, we may as well add in the little addition that we've got to add as well. So, obviously, MrWoofless' skin has a little bit of hair, and that is situated right here. He has a little bit of extra hair right on the top of his head. As you can see, it kind of like comes out in front diagonally of the top of his face, as you guys can see right there. So you also want to add in that row of brown clay for yourself on front of the head. So once you have got all of that taken care of, guys, we can now move on to the next bit. So once you have reached this point right here, you now want to come all the way around to the back of your MrWoofless' head, and taking out your white stained clay and extending this first initial row of white stained clay that we have right here, you want to extend this first initial row over the back of your statue until you overhang the back of your statue by 2 rows. So let me just show you what I mean. So you want to extend that first row of white stained clay coming over the back of the statue until it overhangs by 2, like so. Once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So come to the left hand side of the head, which is this side right here. On top of this left hand side of the head, you want to do this shape with your white stained clay. So you want to do 3 white clay here on this right hand side. You then want to do a 2x2 square on top of the right hand side of your row of 3. Then you want to do a single white clay on the top there, and that is what you want to have on this side of the head. And as a matter of fact, once you've done that on this side of the head, you want to do the exact same thing all the way over on this opposite side as well. So we're on the opposite side of the head, and you also want to do the exact same thing, just like that. Perfect. Once you've got that taken care of, you now want to take out your brown clay, raise up each one of the 2 back corners of the head with your brown clay until they are equal height with the front of the head, then connect them together with the front of the head and also connect them together. I'm jumping the gun a little bit because, well, I've kind of already done it for you guys, but this is exactly what you want to do. It's always better with visual representation. So take the two back corners with your brown clay, raise them up, connect them to the front of the head, and then connect them together to form a nice cube shape. And all you have to do to complete this statue, although that's a bit of a license, there is something a little bit more a little later on. All you have to do now to complete the head is just fill in each one of the 4 sides, or is it 3? Yep, 4 sides in with brown clay. So that's all you have to do to complete the head. And then we do have something left. MrWoofless has a hood, which we will be adding in right after this. It's not difficult to add in whatsoever. It's just it's better if the head's in place before we add it. It's just easier to like structure the head first and then do the hoodie rather than do it the inverse. So we're now just filling in the top of the head with brown clay, and once we've got that taken care of, we can then of course move on to the hoodie. So that's all we have to do. We just have to make the shape, fill it in with brown clay, and once you've got that taken care of, you should be left with something that should look exactly like this. Nice and simple, nothing difficult about that whatsoever. Now, once you have got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So now take out your light blue wool. Come up to the top of the back of your statue. You want to do 3 rows of light blue wool coming out of the back of your statue in this position right here. So right at the top of the back of your statue, and kind of like 1 block longer than the head each side, or 1 block. Sorry about that, guys, I just got interrupted. I lost my place, but hopefully you guys can see exactly what I've done there. So we just have 3 rows of 10 light blue wool coming out of the back of the top of the statue, and the rows of 10 are of course just 1 block longer each side than our head itself. Now, once you do have these 3 rows of light blue, you now just want to do an additional layer of light blue directly on top of them. That's just 1 layer directly on top. Now, once you've done your 1 layer directly on top, all you want to do is another layer, except you want to be careful not to include all of the blocks. You just want to leave these blocks that are closest to like the center of the statue, you just want to leave those alone. So you guys will be able to see on each side, you just want to leave 1 block off. And that is the hood. It's as simple as that, nothing difficult about that whatsoever. So once you have completed the hood, you have actually 100% fully completed your statue. Let's take a look at it now, shall we? So once you, whoops, I didn't take the hand off, did I? There we go, perfect. So this is what your MrWoofless statue wants to look like once it's been 100% fully completed, guys, including the hood as well, including his little quiff that he has on the top of his head. Pretty nice looking statue, guys, not gonna lie, it's a pretty decent statue. Not too difficult to make, which is always a bonus. It's got a little bit extra, it's got the hair, it's got the hood, and it's kinda, I don't know, it's just a nice simple statue. He's not tried to go too crazy with it. I would bet, and I've never watched any of his videos because, well, I don't really have time to watch any of the Minecraft YouTubers. I've never watched his videos, but I'm pretty sure I would hazard that this skin is actually based on him in real life, just to take a wild guess. Nice looking skin. So, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you managed to make it no problem. Hopefully you're looking at your very own MrWoofless skin statue in your very own world. If you did like this, I would really appreciate it if you guys could show me some love, give me a like, favorite, share, anything you would feel like doing to help me out. I greatly appreciate it. I love it when you show me love. If you have any more YouTube related requests, I would really appreciate if first you checked out the YouTuber statue playlist, which you guys can find in the card system and the link below down in the description, just before you make any requests, because oftentimes I've already made them, and feel free to just comment who you might want the next YouTuber statue to be. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next tutorial.